Once again, y'all back for another audio occasion. It is the podcast for self-starters and those willing to make the most out of any situation. I've been telling myself I gotta look at the camera on the way in because I often end up looking at the iPad. So I'm gonna look y'all in the eye and let y'all know that the EFS podcast is back for another round of audio greatness. Today's lead-in audio we got coming from...
What you got, bro?
It's a very good concept, and I want to live by this. It's a little bit more, I guess, on the serious side, but whatever.
I love it.
Fuck it, we rolling.
Not emphasize enough or too strongly the importance and the value of teaching your children how to work and taking your children to work with you.
You ain't got kids,
I believe
sorry.
One of the biggest misunderstandings and biggest mistakes modern day parents make is we focus so much time and energy and effort on playing with our children and watching our children play, while at the same time not taking them to work with us and teaching them to work and teaching them the value of work. I'm so thankful my dad took me to work with him when I was in elementary school. I'm glad my mom taught me how to sew. She taught me how to cook. She taught me how to iron my own clothes. There's nothing more valuable in a child's life, or very few things more valuable in a child's life, than teaching them how to work. Because you're never going back into the world your child is in where you're playing all the time. They're going to be coming into the world you're in where they're working all the time. And so you might as well show them how to get good at it early so that you can teach them the valuable lessons that only come with work.
And that said,
beautiful.
Let that one sink in on the way in.
Let's go.
As we get this theme music queued up. I'm always taking long to get the theme music
it's
on.
All good, man.
Right,
EFS family
here,
rocking with us, right?
Nah, we Gucci.
Yes, sir.
It's on the quicker side today. Let's get it, y'all. A couple air horns on the way in. Round of applause for the gang on the way in. We got the EFS podcast back for number 35, episode 35. Big numbers as we keep this thing rolling. Put those numbers on the board. Who's number 35 in the league? KD. Trey 5. Early KD.
Hey.
Trey 5.
35.
I know we throw the basketball player names in with the numbers and shit.
I know,
so
right?
It's the Trey 5, the KD episode. We out there about to drop 40 on them today because we got big content coming to y'all for another episode. I'm back. I'm your host, D. Burke.
Yes,
and if you made it to the audio/visual occasion, please do not forget to like, comment, share, and subscribe. Tell a friend to tell a friend.
Yes, sir.
Like Waldo loves to say, the fastest growing podcast in the world. I ain't gonna say that just yet, but I appreciate my guys' energy as far as that goes.
Come on, man. We got grow, baby.
Either way, the man Waldo Black is back in the house today. Us. Shouts to Drew for coming out for that last episode.
Yeah, that was a good episode.
Great conversation, great talk. We're gonna hold it down today with just us two. And as we fade out the theme music, damn, that wasn't a fade. That was a hard stop.
You said a hard stop.
Yeah, nah, I hit a button. I hit a button. It would have sounded better if I had my DJ shit on.
I know, right?
We can't put it on there right now, though. But either way, man, how's it going? How you feeling? What's the vibrations? What's the energy? What is the...
Everything's up, man. All positive energy.
Nice.
You know what I'm saying? As from physical, emotional, and spiritual, and everything else in between, as you would say. It's a good vibe, man. Week's been good. I just feel like I'm, locked in, getting ready for a lot of those little things coming up. I got events coming, doing stuff with UD, doing stuff with other brands, dance competitions. I'm judging, things like that, man. There's a lot of stuff.
You was king competitions yesterday, though. Just gonna say, we was at a baby shower yesterday and Waldo cleaned up,
Hey, man, listen.
He makes a great pregnant man.
Stop.
If we just gonna throw that out there.
Wild.
He makes a great pregnant man.
Wild. It was good, man. It was good vibe.
He did well in that game. Walked home with the car kit.
Walk home with a car kit and with the mats. Came with everything. Came with all that good stuff, man. It's like I got that, you know what I mean? When you blessed and highly favored, man, things just come your way. I ain't asked for nothing. It just came to me.
Hey, man, speak to it.
You know what I mean? So it's like, but that's the riding of the high, you know what I'm saying? Then my birthday's coming up too, so it's like
facts. Birthday is on the way.
So it's like I'm feeling good. I'm feeling real good, real excited, and real calm. Just like at a peace. Like I'm really just accepting where I'm at and everything.
Peace is important.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir, man.
And that's going to circle back to when we get to our real talk later, actually. But
you think so?
A little foreshadowing for y'all. Stick around,
Stick around.
Grab a seat, grab a little cup of coffee. If you're cleaning the house, doing whatever you're doing, throw us on in the background and just vibe with us as we get to episode number 35. Myself, I'm sick as a fucking dog. I've been saying that shit all week.
Listen,
because
where's
it's
the
been 11
antibacterial
days.
spray? Hold on one
I'm
second.
good. I'm out of that contagious phase. Like, you know, as far as incubation periods and all
Incubation
that.
is
I'm
crazy.
good with all that. I'm way past that. It's like
Yeah.
11 days in. So if I'm still contagious, it's some new shit
This is
that's out here. Like, you know.
Coco too. And shit.
Yeah, I don't know. And I don't normally be getting sick like that, you know. I was sick fucking last part. I heard that shit all on the mic. And I'm still in the
sound a little
same.
congested. I ain't gonna lie.
I wasn't
gonna call you out, but
I call myself out. I had a second wave. Been since like 11 days now, and I'm usually bounce back pretty quick. So
you are the bounce back king, man.
Yeah. So for this to be this long,
I'd be like seeing you down and out, and next thing you know, I think the other time was when you had the competition or something like that, and you hurt yourself or something, and then like could have swore it was like the next weekend, and you was up doing something like, what? I thought you was hurt.
Oh, you talking about a physical injury?
Yeah. You was like, you are a bounce back king, man. I was like, I thought he was hurt.
Yeah, I like to consider myself Wolverine. You know, my skeleton is made of adamantium.
Oh,
or
is that
whatever
what
the
it
fuck
is?
you want to call it.
Adamantium. Okay.
Yeah. But I tell myself that, then I end up getting hurt again and shit. But nah, this is some whole viral whatever the fuck it is. Like I don't know, but you know, we gonna shake it.
I hope you feel better, man. That's all I'm gonna say.
I'm on the mend, or I thought I was until this whole second wave. But you know, it is what it is.
Bro.
My workouts feel trash right now. I'm still gonna work out.
Still doing
we
it,
already
though,
talked about that shit.
Discipline.
So, you know, it is what it is. But we gonna mom through. We gonna mom through.
Let's go.
All right, man. So what we want to kick this thing off at? Episode number 35. 35.
We're about a week out from the conversation, but I think it's still worthwhile to have. You know,
I need the official drop date on this thing because it's been a blur for me.
Yeah. It was last Wednesday.
It was last Wednesday.
Last Wednesday.
We're talking about Port Antonio.
Port Antonio was dropped last Wednesday on like out of nowhere, like a work day. It was like a random work day. He's like, you know what? You know what I mean? But he dropped it.
Mm-hmm.
Bars. Crazy bars. But the part that everybody's talking about and everybody wants to.
Verse 2, we all heard it.
Was verse 3? Was it verse 2?
No, I think it was verse 2.
Okay. Either way.
2.
Whatever verse it was, he references the diss, the beef, the all that. You know what I'm saying? So
speak to it.
I mean, what could I say?
You sent me the record. I heard it already, and then you double back and like, yo, I'm like, yeah, I heard it.
What can I say? I just sent it.
We haven't spoken officially on it because I wanted to wait.
I love that we don't have these moments. Sometimes we can just bring them to the pod and get honest reactions. I guess for me, because I do my due diligence, right? I'm always looking at what other podcasts and other individuals are talking about, right? So I did my due diligence, and I saw what Joe Budden was talking about. I saw what Stevie Knight was talking about. I saw what a lot of
Rory Amal, homegirl on Rory Amal.
I saw what a lot of they talking about, and I'm like,
sorry, I'm butchering your name, but Damaris, sorry.
Damaris, I didn't know what she said. I didn't see that one.
She had a post about her opinions too.
But I just feel like everybody has their opinion, and that's fair. And I'm just like, for me, when it comes to these moments in hip hop, like I don't know what people are expecting. Like it's almost as if you don't get the opportunity to write your honest opinions, feelings, and things like that. I mean, Joe for me is the most hilarious because I'm like,
he had a very entertaining take.
He has a very entertaining take, but I look at him as like of course, your position is going to be the position of one that is against the narratives that he's talking about. Because I look at the situation like this. Like, Joe Budden comes from an era of hip-hop that is gangster or aggressive or toxic, right? So he is biased and incapable of appreciating any other lane of hip-hop that is counter to the one that he is most a part of.
I wouldn't say that. He said some positive things about the record.
No, I'm not saying he didn't, but at the end of the day, he is against anything that is outside of the realm of rap that he participates in. He's biased. It's counter to him because Joe Budden's going to take care of Joe Budden. If you can't tell me anything different about Joe Budden, that's his nature. He's going to make sure Joe Budden is good. And why would Joe Budden go speak about how the greatness of what it is that he's doing in terms of apologizing and he doesn't like that because it's counter to him. If the culture of hip hop goes towards the direction that the J. Cole's, I'm not gonna do the list. The individuals that we all know that are more positive in uplifting our culture, right? Or attempting to, it goes counter to a Joe Budden, you know what I mean, playlist. You just wouldn't listen to it. And that is self-preservation, in my opinion. He's not going to do that. So with that in mind, I'm looking at him. I'm like, of course he's going to be against the concept, but they can't say he ain't spit. So it's like, you can be mad all you want, but y'all niggas ain't stopping Cole because you nigga can spit. We know that. So it's like, for everybody who dislikes it, I'm like, it's not for you anyway. You're never going to appreciate Cole the way Cole people appreciate Cole, because we understand that he's in a different section of hip hop. So it's like, enjoy the bars if you can be objective and look at it from a whole lens. But if you can't, and you're stuck into the regimented rules from the 90s, the baby oil legends, then go be a part of that. That's okay.
You can't put baby oil legends on.
What you mean? Half them niggas was toxic.
You can't put baby oil legends.
Here's my problem. Here's my problem, bro.
Diddy's.
Because at the end of the day, I never seen Joe Budden get upset for people rapping bars about people being misogynistic to women, people doing things. He never gets upset about that shit. But he gets upset about J. Cole apologizing and having a certain level of accountability in his raps. Why is one thing upsetting you, but the other things and the toxic aspects and the drug using and I put Molly all in her drink, she didn't even know it. That never got you upset. But this dude, come on, y'all some hypocritical old baby oil ass niggas. I'm sorry if that's too much, but I'm looking at it from like, you're telling me you dislike the soft rap, quote unquote. That's what he said.
That's not what he said.
He doesn't like the soft rap. He said that. He said he don't like soft rap.
No, he said he I watched it. It was like I watched it. I watched a whole bunch of other people. He dislikes the soft nature of what he was like, of what he was portraying. Like, soft rap is not something he can dislike. He even said in the whole point that you made about how I'm the last one that should be able to talk about like being like emotional, like, et cetera, et cetera. Like, and that's why my whole point last week was people don't really know Joe's career for people to say like discredited his opinion on this and that. But in this case, like, he did speak to the fact that he liked the record. I like the record too. I don't like certain things about the record, and it's mainly just the fact that Cole in general is too reactive. Like, it's too reactive to me. Like, and I think the whole shit has been him being reactive the whole time and not having enough self-awareness to put himself outside of a position that could make him look compromised from the fucking jump. And him doubling down and making that whole second verse when nobody fucking asked for that shit. Nobody said, like, we're wondering where Cole is at and we're wondering what he's doing. Well, I would say, I ain't gonna say nobody. I'm sure people was wondering, but you don't have to respond to them to then say, like, this is how I'm feeling about everything that went down. Like, bro, you chose to back out of the record, so why then double back and start talking about, like, why you did this and why you did that, and then say, sneaking a line that's like, yeah, well, if I would have chose to engage, then basically I'm still that nigga, like that type of shit. Like, bro, no, you chose to sit the fuck down, so sit down. And just do what you gonna do. You don't have to keep on putting out like your thoughts about that shit. To me, that's like a reaction to you maybe feeling the pressure from people to say, where's J. Cole at mentally? Like, the thing that I like about the whole shit with Kendrick is he put out the song and you ain't heard a fucking shit word from him since. Like, you put out the music, he addresses what he gotta address. He's not addressing things to say, like, I need to let y'all know, the media or whoever, what it is about how I feel. I'm gonna get to the point and I'm gonna go the fuck away. J. Cole has been quiet after that shit. Then he started doing little records. He did the joint with T Grizzly. He had the other joint he had with Daylight, which was another fire record, lyrically amazing. Like, so J. Cole, you're a good rapper. It's just like, stay the fuck out of shit that don't concern you. The issue for me was that you made it seem like all that shit is what you want to be for so long, which is why people were so disappointed, because it's like, I'm the best, I'm the best, I'm the best, I'm the best. And then when it comes down to like, all right, cool, let's like actually put the gloves on a little bit and engage, then you bowed out. So it's cool, bow out. Respect that. Have your peace, but then you don't have to then put your name back as shit that's going to get people to react to whatever you got to say to involve your name in the conversation again. Like, just be a good rapper, bro. You don't got to mention none of that shit no more. You don't have to. You made your peace with it. You're at peace. You're free. You exist. You're that, whatever. So be free. Like, don't speak on it no more then. Because that's the part to me, like, I could have done without that second verse on the record. The first verse was great. Second record, like then I gotta really start picking apart, like, okay, what's his mind state right now? Why is he saying this? Why is he saying that? Why is he apologizing to fucking Drake on the record? Like, you know, all those things to me is just like weird. It's like, don't even address it. Rap and keep doing that because you're good at that. So stay in that lane. You only start putting yourself in like under the microscope when you start comparing yourself or involving yourself within the other two people's shit that was already going on and has went on for months now. Like, just keep it quiet and keep it rap. And that's it. That's my perspective on it.
That's
like,
fair. I'm not saying anything wrong with what you said, or I'm not even countering that. I just, you know.
And Joe did go hard. Like, I'm not saying that he did. Like, but he's trying to entertain, and I get that shit too. Like, that's his bravado, his, you know. But he did say, along with everything that he said, like, I like the record. But at the end of the day,
at the same time,
he wasn't the only one on there. They had a whole big back and forth between the cast about like one people feeling one way, and then some people feeling the other way. So I do understand both sides of it. It's like, yes, you want people to be free and you want people to express the way they want to express, but it's like, when as the consumer or people that were like are taking in the artwork that you're putting out, when do we have a right to say like, bro, like, we ain't need that.
That's fair.
We ain't need that. Like, you've been doing well since then. All you had to do was keep fucking rapping, and people would have forgot about that shit for the rest of history, hopefully. It would have been a little blemish on whatever, like, you know, but when you start saying shit about the shit that already happened as if you need to explain yourself even more after you already explained yourself apologizing to Kendrick. Then you took months to see how the shit played out. Now you're apologizing to Drake. Oh, Drake, you always been my nigga, da, 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 whatever. Like, bro, we don't need to hear that. You know? We don't need to hear that.
That's fair.
Me personally.
Right. And I think you said you respect it, but I don't know if the masses agree with you. I've seen a lot of people comments, oh, he corny, he this, that, and the third. It's not necessarily saying that he needed to say anything. What I think, in full encompassing of what happened, you got to realize the first person to actually make a diss track was J. Cole.
Right.
So, and then he apologized.
Which makes it look even weirder to me.
I'm gonna finish. Let me land. But the last person to make a record is J. Cole. It's the bookend to the entire thing, to me at least. When I look at the story of what transpired, he apologized to Kendrick, but he also apologized to Drake. And I always look at J. Cole in the capacity that I told you, like he speaks to the heart, man. He's not. I don't think he's operating in this mindset where it's like, I'm trying to get jabs in, and it's not that. It's like he is being introspective and candid on wax. Sometimes you're gonna have moments where you can talk all week about how you're gonna get chicken Alfredo. I'm gonna tear that chicken Alfredo up when we go. I can't wait to go to the Italian spot. I can't wait. I'm gonna get chicken Alfredo. I'm gonna get the garlic bread. I know what I'm gonna get there. And you finally get to the restaurant, and you're like, you know what? I'm gonna get the chicken Alfredo. Bring it out. It's at you. They serve it. It's sitting right there, and you're like, I don't think I want that. I think I want a pizza. Okay. It's a moment where you change your mind and you can be honest with yourself and say, you know what? I thought about it the whole week. I really wanted the chicken Alfredo, but now I'm here and I want the pizza. That doesn't make you a bad person or you failed hip hop.
Nobody's saying he's a bad person. I know
that.
We're all saying he's a great guy. It's just like,
what I'm saying is in the analogy is that you are a part of a bigger thing as an artist, right? The hip hop community. It's subjective though. There is no metric to what is or isn't supposed to be done in hip hop. This is all just an idea that was birthed from people playing the break beats in a basement in Harlem, and now it's grown to this big giant thing that we're trying to put parameters around on what you can and cannot do on it, when at the end of the day, if you got bars and you telling your story, spit them. Eminem would rap about trying to kill his mom. Nobody batted an eye. But now he's just talking about his true expression.
In this era, they would.
I know, but I'm saying like he's talking about his true expression about what he felt about the situation that he was in. And y'all like, nah, you can't do that. It's And I'm talking about Joe Budden, not you specifically. I'm talking about the way he's, you know what I'm saying? Like, I put him in the class of them toxic baby oil legends, man. And I'm like, for me, that like it's not for you, Joe. It's not for you.
But it
never will be.
It's all. If you have ears to listen to it, then it's for you. If you want to choose to consume it,
that's not entirely true, right? Is the Barbie movie for you?
If I choose to watch it, then I'm a consumer of the Barbie movie.
That's not saying it's for you. So you can have something that is designed and made for you, or you can have something that's designed and made that is consumed by you.
But this
that's two different things.
But within that, if you come from a culture that, like, if you're just speaking specifically about Joe, and I hate to make it about Joe because we gave him a lot of time already for the last one, but
I know.
Even still, like, he's a hip hop, like, consumer. He's also a hip hop artist, not an artist anymore. But at the end of the day, he comes from the culture of hip hop. So hip hop is technically for him. What sector of hip hop he chooses to enjoy or chooses to not is a whole different story. But you can choose to consume something and have an opinion about it.
That's fair.
If he said, I ain't gonna listen to the record because I don't even want to hear that shit, then that's a whole different story. But if you choose to listen to the record because you are interested, and he's been a supporter of J. Cole. He's been a verbal supporter of J. Cole very, very often. He even said, I like this song. I just don't like this about it. Right. So I think that's a fair perspective. I do think that it's not, like, outside of the realm of, like, I guess just being animated and whatever, like, he's doing for creating content. And I do believe that some of that shit that he said was like, yo, like, literally, bro, like, it's like a soft era in rap. And I felt him when he said about, like, y'all not really friends like that, bro. Like, I don't know their relationship, but I don't think these niggas is really friends for you to need to make apologies and all that other shit like that. Shit look good on paper, look good on camera, and look good on song and all that shit. But what is the real true nature of y'all relationship? Like, to where, and that was the most profound thing that he said about that whole shit to me. It's like, bro, you're not friends like that, you know? And I ain't gonna say they are, they aren't, but end of the day, like, he's just being animated just because that's how you feel about this shit.
But that's his style too. He does that.
No doubt. He does that about anything, everything. So I ain't taking that to, I'm not gonna let that, like, deter the message. I do still believe in the fact that, like, bro, you being reactive as J. Cole, like, don't fucking respond to this shit and just keep doing what the fuck you do. Like, and he moves too much throughout this whole situation in, like, a responsive way. Like, he was the first one to put out a record, like you said. He put out a record before Drake. So it's like, I bet I'm amped up. I'm going to jump in the whole shit now. Again, being self-aware, if you knew that that was something that might go away that you potentially didn't want it to go, don't jump out there in the fucking first place, you know? And from that perspective now to then, like you said, the bookend to this shit, like, bro, you bookend into some shit that really had very little to do with you from the jump, and you're inserting yourself back into it again. And now that you're saying, like, oh, I'm at peace now, I'm at this, is that, whatever, then don't say no line about, but if I would have chose to engage in that shit, you know, and then talk about how, like, oh, if the gun didn't fire, it's still deadly, whatever. Bro, go sit down and do your kind of rap.
But he immediately said that he don't want to be a gun. That's what he said.
No, he said, in that case, I guess I am the gun.
No, he said hypothetically, in that scenario, you're saying that I'm the gun, but I don't want to be the gun. That's what he said. I don't.
Right. So then, why would you even say, like, I'm still deadly and all that other shit? It's like you.
That's what his homie said. That's what his homie said. He said his homie said that line.
Right, but he did have other specific lines in that. I don't remember every line off the top of my head where he's like, yeah, bro, like, I'm still that nigga, like, whatever. I mean, you can be that nigga, just be that nigga outside of referencing that whole situation, because that's where it's like, all right, bro, you already bowed out. So why are you comparing yourself to these people in whatever is, like, you know, whatever form of music? I don't need to hear about you and Drake and Kendrick again. Just be you. Go make your music. That's it. From me, from my perspective. Do what you want, and you have the right and freedom of expression as an artist to do whatever you like. But as someone who's been a fan of J. Cole for a long time, I told you, even when that whole shit was going on, I'm not going to stop listening to his music. So when you keep doing shit in the music now, it's like, all right, well, bro, why are you even bringing that back up again? Like, you wiped your hands with it. You walked away. You said and even just some of the part of it, like the part when he's talking about walking away with the blood on him, like, bro, no, you didn't. You bowed out of shit before it even got really, like, tit for tat or messy. Like, you chose to bow out of it, so go be in your own lane over there, do your thing, and let everybody else duke it out for the best ever, and et cetera, et cetera. Like, make your records. Nobody's taking away your pen. Your lyrical ability is top notch, bro. I'm not going to never discredit you in that.
That's dope.
Go do that, and then let the rest of the motherfuckers play in the mud. That's all you got to do.
But my question is, can he not be the best ever because he didn't do this battle?
From my perspective, no, but that's just my perspective.
But
I'm not
again,
taking away anybody else's who feels a
right,
little bit different.
I
But
feel
for
differently.
me,
That's my personal.
and that's fair. And I'm not taking away anybody's perspective on that regard. I'm just saying for me, it's like it's like you beating a dead horse, bro. You chose to bow out of it. You let them niggas do what they wanted to do already. So they're going to do that. And at the end of the day, you're going to just go be your own artist and do your thing. And that's it.
Okay. I mean,
just make your music.
I think that's, to me, that's the nicest way anybody has put it. From all the online podcasters I've seen.
No doubt. I am animated, but I ain't go that hard. Like, but I did laugh at all that shit Joe was saying because it's funny and entertaining.
It is funny, but I'm just looking at him and I'm like, how old is Joe Budden now?
44, I think, something like that. I think he's 44.
How old is Joe Budden?
He just had a birthday joint recently. I think 44.
Joe Budden is 44 years old.
Yeah. You're right. So, a 44-year-old Joe Budden, I know that J. Cole didn't make that song like, yeah, I'm gonna make sure 44-year-old Joe Budden can agree with me. Like, it's not what he's doing. I just think, huh?
Nah, I wouldn't try to cut you off.
No, I'm just looking at it like, I'm like, that's not a song for Joe. Mind you, Joe can and will speak on hip hop probably until the day he dies. That's just who he is. But when I'm looking at the whole, like, the concept of hip hop and what it's supposed to be and not supposed to be, beef and battling is only a sector of the culture. It is not the entire purpose of the culture. And I think somehow along the way, we got to this mindset that you have to battle if you want to be the best. You got to do this if you want to do that. Like, I don't know when that became the thing, but that's where we've gotten to the point. And I'm like, to me, you do not have to do that to be the GOAT. But that's why I think we have different tastes. You are a competition-based individual. Yeah. You like to see the dog, like, come out of somebody and go for bro.
I ain't even saying that. I'm just saying, and who was it? I think Ish on Joe, when they had the little debate back and forth, he said something that related it to sports, which connected with me. It's like, bro, not everybody wants to take the last shot when it comes to a game. I don't know if you saw that part of it. Like, I watched, I watched his shit. So he said not everybody wants to take the last shot of a game. That's a fact. When you're on a basketball team, there's only a certain amount of players on that team that's like really like, yo, give me the ball here and get the fuck out of my way. Like, them type of people. Those people who are like the ultra competitors and et cetera, et cetera. Yeah. You don't have to be that. But then again, when you start putting yourself in and around that conversation, it's like, have the self-awareness, and sometimes you don't know until you know. Everybody got to learn their own way. So I get that part of it too. It just seems a little bit like it's not so much self-awareness with him. It's more about like just reaction. And to me, it's like, you do not have to respond to everything that is going on.
That's fair.
Post. If you feel that much sound in your decision, then be that. I don't need to hear you apologize to Drake right after he was on stage talking about I ain't got no friends and everybody's fake and this is that, whatever, and playing Beyonce music. Like, it seems very reactive. I'm not saying that's what's his intent. It just comes off that way within the way everything has rolled out. And it's like, bro, go make your music. Because leading up into this record, the Port Antonio joint, the short, like I just said, the joint that he dropped with Daylight was fire. I'm like, I bet that's fire. He ain't say nothing about no situation like that. The joint he had with T Grizzly, cool little bop, not necessarily my taste completely, but he bodied the record for his role.
Yeah.
And it's like, just keep doing that. Yeah. Time heals all wounds, or whatever they say about like when you're cold in the media or whatever. Just get low until shit goes away. Like, just do that, bro. I don't need to hear you talking about that again because they already are doing that and they still in the middle of it now. It ain't over. So it's not even like it's a year or two from now or whatever where everybody's dust is settled. Kendrick dropped his album. He did the Super Bowl performance. Drake took a little break, came back, dropped another album. Like, damn, yeah, maybe like, bro, but I don't need to hear that right now. They still going through it. It's still, the ramifications of that situation have still been like, it ain't like it's over. For real. We still waiting on Kendrick to drop his next album and see what he gonna say. We still waiting on Drake to drop more music because Drake's like, oh, round 2 or this is that, whatever. Like, it's still live. It's still like, it's battles and then there's the war. Like, wars don't get won overnight.
That's fair.
So don't involve yourself in war-related things when you have already said, I'm not in the war. Go do what you got to do, make your music.
Definitely Switzerland.
And then, be Switzerland and don't talk about the other people that's at war.
Yeah.
T Grizzly, you need a bop? Cool. You need a bop over here? Whatever. I'm working on the fall off, working on my album. I'm going to focus on that. I'm not even going to speak on that because I bowed out of it. So for me, self-awareness is cool. I may not be about that. And if you want to back out the first time after the diss record and I want to apologize, cool, do that, and then just go do your thing, bro. I don't need to hear about that. For me, from my perspective.
No, that's fair.
So that's the way, I've felt about it ever since. And I like the record. I like the first verse. First verse was dope. When he got into the second verse, I'm like, okay, is he? And the second verse was what I heard first, because that was what dropped on the timelines.
Oh, okay. So you just
I didn't hear the whole record until I heard that part of it. And I'm like, I was already like, bro, I don't want to hear. And then I was like, all right, let me get this record of just like it's just due.
Yeah.
Listen to the whole joint front to back. I'm like, okay, first verse is dope. Bars, I like the whole flip and all that joint of the dead president. Is cool. Like, I like that. But then for me, it's like, just stay away from that, bro. Stay away from that. You could have did whatever you wanted to all over that record without even putting that in there. And then it would have been fire. So for me, that was
it's still fire to me, but I do hear you. I do hear you.
There are parts of it that are fire. I would say that. Like, but to me, it's like it takes away from the record when it's like you got to address some shit that I wasn't really ready to hear or didn't really feel like hearing, because again, you over there now. So be over there and do what you do. Let them do that. Let them do the pedophiles and the woman beater and this is that, whatever. Like, you get away from it.
Get away
from
all that. Yeah, that was just a nasty.
Get away from it and
joint.
keep making music. That's all.
Nasty little joint.
But that's that on that, And
I mean, he may not be the person to take the shot, but I feel like he's the guy that you definitely can count on to shoot the free throws.
Hopefully. I hope you got to go.
Like, what you mean? He's not taking the last shot. Like you said, not taking the last shot. But if you got time on the clock, give him the ball. He's going to make the free throws.
How much time is on the clock? What's the score of the game?
If he has possession of the ball, them free throws getting made. Them free throws getting made.
He going to shoot free throws in the first quarter or second? When it comes down to the fourth quarter?
I'm talking about the fourth quarter. You're up by one, and the other team has to foul.
Listen, man, I've been
he's going to make those free
situations. And free throws ain't really free throws when them scores is real tight.
I'm just saying, I'm putting my faith behind J. Cole.
I took a lot of shots in my career. I done had a lot of like game-winning possibilities. I done had a lot of free throws to where like it's going to tilt the game one way or the other.
Is there a greater level of difficulty for the free throws than it is for the last shot?
I think it's all scenario based.
Yeah, of course.
But you got to also factor in that state of the game, like emotions and like tension is heightened, so there's more weight on everything you do. So
I don't know what that analogy would be in real life,
sometimes the free throw
world, I mean.
Like, and I've been in these situations to where it's like we down by one, you got to hit two. We might be tied and you got to hit two, or like just scenarios where these free throws matter. Sometimes the free throws is a lot harder because everything slows down.
Yeah,
everybody's looking at you. You have the ball. You got to shoot them shit, and it's just you and the basket. That's when it's literally like focus time, and it exposes you when you can't focus enough to put the ball in the basket. If you're a bad free throw shooter, that's one thing.
Yeah.
But if you're a person that like is steady, 75% plus of a free throw shooter like that, which I was most of my professional careers, like if you miss those free throws, it's probably nerves, bro.
Yeah.
And that's when it shows, because in the middle of a game, like it just might be you make a miss.
Right.
Somebody running at you, you might not get a good look off, you might not be clean. It looks good when you make it, but it's make a miss sometimes. When it's just you and the basket, these free throws should be counted.
Yep.
So if they're not, then it's like, all right. But that's where the real pressure comes into play. Like your hands can start getting sweaty and all that. Like sometimes you really just got to breathe and like, all right, bro, it's repetition. I do this shit all the time.
Facts.
Facts. Sorry to mix up the basketball.
No, I like the analogies and the basketball. I love that. It's giving that real perspective in the game.
No doubt.
Speaking of the game, I did want to touch base on the Hall of Famers.
Facts.
Induction, man.
One time, man. Round of applause for the most recently inducted Hall of Fame class. The ceremony was last night. Got to give a big shout out to one of my early inspirations on the basketball court, Vince Carter. Hell yeah.
Oh, I was going to say Chauncey.
Chauncey too. But Chauncey, I appreciated a little bit more after that. But for me, Vince was it like right away. Like when I was 12, 13, Vince Carter was my favorite player, like hands down.
Oh yeah. That dunk contest, when I saw that, I was like, whoa.
2000 dunk contest, best dunk contest ever in history. Like, and it wasn't like we didn't know he was going to be a Hall of Famer. I do respect that he's going to get his jersey retired too in the league. Not, he's in the Hall of Fame, but he's also going to have a jersey retirement coming up from Toronto. Right thing to do. He put the Toronto on the map. Like Toronto was ice cold, figuratively, literally, whatever you want to call it, until VC heated that shit up. VC and Tracy McGrady earlier before then Tracy got traded. If you know, you know. I saw a lot of young people. They put the post out of a different era, and I saved it on my Instagram, whatever. And it was posting like people who was teammates and stuff before. A lot of these kids don't know that VC and T-Mac was teammates or cousins at that too.
Oh,
is
I know
crazy.
his cousins. His cousins?
Yeah, they cousins.
Oh, I know that.
Yeah. Second cousins or something like that, but they have family together. They cousins.
That's crazy.
Yeah.
Love the game, man. Gotta love the game.
Yeah, we played in
And
a tournament there when I was at Marquette.
Oh, nice.
Yeah, it was like the CBA, college basketball, I forget what CBE, college basketball experience, whatever it was called back then.
Yeah.
We played there. We played Duke. We lost.
Nice.
Yeah.
I mean, it's all good.
No, we won. We beat Duke.
You beat Duke?
Yeah.
The way you
We
said
beat
it was
Duke.
like, damn. you
Yeah,
lost.
nah, we beat Duke. We lost to them in Maui. Yeah, in Maui Invitational. Yeah. Now it's coming back to me. But yeah.
I think Boozer's sons just got
Yeah, they're going to Duke too.
they're going to Duke.
Following
yeah.
their father's footsteps.
Yeah.
You know,
That's a
Dukies.
cool thing to see.
I hate Duke. I'm just gonna say that. Just
Okay.
not a hater, but just like
You got some
rivalry.
Yeah,
shit,
some
you know?
rivalry. Yeah.
Yeah.
Some history there.
And not to say we only played them twice in my college.
one
college
lost
career.
one?
Yeah, we won one last one. We
Yeah.
split with them.
Yeah, split with them. Still,
Yeah.
but you don't like them though.
Yeah, nah. Just because it's like and it was never really my favorite school like that anyway. Just how they did shit, and but it's cool. Shout out to John Shire. That's my Jarrell's boy. They got history together, so they cool. And it's love. I like the tradition and the history of the university. My running thing was that they didn't produce good pros, or not good pros. I say
Yeah,
they
I was
didn't.
gonna
Their
say, that's
pros
tough.
didn't always live up to the hype when they got to the league. Is what I would say. I take that.
Well,
I
Duke
reword
has its
that.
own culture. and
Outside of
it
Kyrie
creates-
Irving, Grant Hill, his career didn't really pan out the best.
What's the name as a star?
Who?
I can't think of his boy's name. It was mad because he was gaining weight. Zion
Gaining
Williamson.
Oh, Zion?
Yeah, he's a star.
No.
Not a superstar. He's a star.
Zion is has never reached his potential, to my perspective, and that's putting it nicely.
Wait, what is it? Whoa. Hold on. What is his potential in your mind?
His potential is him and Ja Morant came into the league at the same time, and he was supposed to be the next nigga.
So what is he now? Another? No.
He's not even the best player on his team.
I mean, a healthy Zion?
Healthy Zion still, I would say. He's an
Okay.
athlete, but I think his game is predicated on athleticism and not necessarily skill that much.
Okay. Okay.
Not to say he doesn't have skill. I'm not saying that. I'm just saying his game in general is more based on athleticism than actual skill. And
That's
I think
fair.
when he got to the league, he relied on the fact that I'm an athlete, and then he just relied on not taking care of his body. And we see how it went. And people call that shit coming in.
I think he's doing better now though.
He's, from what they say, he's turned things around. So I'm
Yeah.
looking forward to see what happens next.
This
But
season?
at this point,
Yeah,
it's
this
like, bro, that ship sailed a lot. You gotta have a big turnaround to even make your way back into those kind of conversations that they had you in when you first got to the league.
I mean, but everybody puts him. I think a lot of pressure on these young cats when they come in. Like Lonzo Ball, like everybody put him up like he's gonna be good next.
Sure.
You know what I
I'm
mean?
not
Like-
saying it's not some of that isn't unfair to the player. I'm just saying for what we thought he could be, he ain't even really scratched the surface of that just
Yeah.
yet.
I'll give you that. I give
And
you that.
partially is injuries. Injuries hurt, but also taking care of your body keeps you away from certain injuries, And with him, we've been saying it for years, he has how fast he runs, how high he jumps at that weight size.
Yeah.
You're putting a lot of pounding on your body, bro.
So you know what?
You can't be the person with a 42 inch vertical and you weigh damn near 300 pounds. You're
Facts.
coming down on that every time you jump. That's
You're
not
going
good.
to get injured.
That's
why it's so important that you guys have a trainer that can do the job and do the work and keep you in shape.
Listen, man,
You
holla
want
at
to
me.
be like an athlete, live like an athlete, then train like an
I
athlete.
ain't just a
EFS.
podcaster. I'm a performance coach. I know a little bit about this
It's
shit
important.
right now, and I said that even when he was because I was done by that point when he was just coming through. I'm like, bro, too heavy. Bro, too heavy. It works when you're young, but then when you're playing more games, 82 games a season now, you are heavier now than you might have been in college because you're not taking care of your body, bro. You bound to have some shit happen. You might have some shit happen even if you take care of your body the greatest.
Right.
Like Kevin Durant snapped his damn Achilles, So
But it's crazy to me that these cats have all this money and they don't prioritize these aspects and put themselves in the best shape possible to make sure they're avoiding injuries.
That is where
it doesn't make
players
sense, right?
make their mark as pros, bro. it goes so much like further than people really understand. And I'm not even gonna sit here and like it ain't make it about myself, but I will make it about myself in a sense. Like I only made it as far as I did by taking care of my body for 10 years straight when I had little resources compared to a lot of these people in the league.
Exactly.
Like very little compared to what they have.
And you
So if
still
you got
can't.
all
Even
that-
now, you're in a better shape than a lot of these cats. I seen that have been in the league and left.
I mean, yeah.
Yeah.
As far as ex-pros, like top 1%. Top 1%.
Yeah.
Like, you know, but I always had that mentality. Like my life changed as a college athlete when I was like kind of ridiculed for having weight issues. So at that point, it changed for me. Sophomore year, Tom Crean changed my life with that shit. I still like what I went through was, I guess, traumatic in a sense, but I still to this day love Tom Crean. You know, we had tumultuous relationship as a player or coach at that point, but I really credit him for a lot of the things I am as a man and as an individual now.
That's dope.
And especially from the fitness side of things, because when I went into college, sorry to keep wiping my nose and shit, but when I went to college, like I was on some Zion shit, like literally. And at that point, I'm lifting. Like I didn't really have like a big focus on like resistance training. And when you get to college, they make you do it. So you have to. So it's part of your program there to build yourself up as an athlete, but I'm also not even factoring like what I'm eating at that point.
Exactly.
I blew up. I was 235 when I got to college. Shouts to that. I'm still 235 now. So all you niggas who think you can lead a game and just be your old weight, you can't unless you put the work in. But either way, I got to college at 235, and then within my first year and a half, I blew up to like 250, down to 260 pounds. Like, you know, still same thing.
Solid though. I seen them videos. She was bodying people down low.
Yeah, I mean, but I was also like, I look back at some of those pictures now, like, bro, you was chubby. You know? Chubby. Like I could, but again, I was on like not to say I was as athletic as Zion because I never had a 40-inch vertical. My highest vertical was like a 38, 39.
Right.
37.5. Sorry, I ain't gonna put too much on it. But either way, I jumped pretty high for that, you know, size and weight and all that. But at that time, I was athletic, but I could have been better.
Yeah.
And it really took my coaches having to say, like, bro, you blew up. I have my own feelings about why it happened just because, you know, either way, it really don't matter. But I got big as hell, and then my coach was like, "Bro, you fat." Like we put me in the bod test, like the body fat test. It was like the top level one where they just measure everything in you and your body fat percentage gets spit out. My shit was high. It was like 14-15%. Mind you, I'm like 6% now.
Right.
Post career. So at that point, too much for an athlete.
So if you was in the position to give, I mean, I'm saying a condensed guidance, what would be the top 3 things you would have gave to Zion as a way to make sure he got himself in shape and kept himself on track? Just real quick. Yeah, I mean, I know we got other topics we want to talk about, but I mean,
you got people around him now that I guess is doing the right thing for him. But for me, like from my perspective, he had to trim down. Like you can be athletic.
Calorie deficit.
Like there's certain people who have are genetically like predisposed to like higher levels of athleticism. Everybody ain't made the same. They're basically trying to maximize as an athlete. You're trying to maximize your potential, your athletic potential, off of the height, weight, fast twitch muscles that you have versus like all of those things matter towards your athletic potential.
Right.
So his athletic potential was through the roof out the gate. Like, you know.
Yeah.
He has natural athletic.
Blown out of his shoes, I remember.
Right. He has natural athletic ability. And it's not to say like he wasn't lifting in college. I know they're lifting in Duke. I know they're doing all that shit. But when they recruited him, it's because, bro, you a fucking freak ass athlete.
Right.
You know, in high school, we saw what he was doing. Like,
yeah, it was crazy.
Right. So, like, you have a genetic predisposition to higher levels of athleticism. From there, what you do as a person to take care of your body can add to that effect.
Right.
I.e., like the LeBrons, to where 22 years in now, he's still
great.
Like, right.
But he's regimented in his approach too, though.
Or you can just be a person that's just like, all right, whatever. Like, I'm going to rely on my athleticism. It's always going to be there. I'm just going to do this. I'm just doing that. I'm not going to take care of myself. I'm going to eat a bunch of bullshit. Like, right. You're
like Charles Barkley.
Exactly. You're a heavy set person. So,
no
like,
shots.
All that shit, again, it pounds on your body. So my advice would have been diet all the time.
Calorie deficit.
I mean,
protein.
Yes and no, because you do want a deficit to lose weight, but you also don't want to strip yourself of like having the energy when you need it.
Copy.
Because that's the thing that happens when you go on a quick caloric deficit, and this is sciencey stuff and maybe showcasing my trainer brain. But a lot of people who go on a quick calorie deficit to lose weight, they end up not feeling like they have the energy that their sport or their like activity demands to keep up.
Right.
Like they say, like, I ain't got as much burst anymore, bro, whatever. But it's because like you're cutting out a lot of the carbohydrates, and carbohydrates has a healthy, like, you need carbs.
Facts.
You need carbs to perform. So that's why, like, distance runners, they say carbo load before your long race, because you're putting a bunch of carbohydrates in your body that you're going to burn off with the activity. So for him, I wouldn't say necessarily caloric deficit. Like, yes, you want to, like, be in a position where you're not blowing up, to where you're eating more calorically than what you're burning off in a day. Like, your total energy expenditure is what we say in the fitness community. When that is too high, like your calories versus your energy expenditure, once it's higher than that, you're going to gain weight. Once it's lower than that, then of course you're going to lose weight, but you don't want to sacrifice the performance aspect of it too. So it's like having the right balance for him to me. Like, I just think, bro, right.
Deficit, yeah.
So I just think bro just don't, he see a plate in front of him, he don't think about how much he should be eating. It's just like, fuck it, everything tastes good.
That good New Orleans. New Orleans do that to you. You ever been out to New Orleans? It's some good food.
I've never been to New Orleans yet.
I tell you.
Fun fact, I've never been to New Orleans yet. Yeah.
I've been out there during Mardi Gras. Yeah. It's a different time, baby.
Yeah, I hear great things. I'm gonna go at one point.
Wonderful
I've never
city.
been there.
Wonderful city.
But yeah, like, bro, you got to push the plate away sometimes. Like,
Yeah.
And that would have been my main advice to
Nola.
him. Like, they got the right trainers. They got everything, bro. Recovery, you got everything. Or you know somebody that can get you everything that you can pay for, bro. It's that much easy. Like,
You
he
gotta
ain't got it like
prioritize
the
it, though,
overseas guys. Like, we literally had to do that shit on our own.
Yeah.
You know, like when I got to overseas, I had to literally cut my weight little by little.
Yeah.
And I saw that shit happen throughout my professional career. I made my body a better, like, machine for what I was trying to do. For the
literally
longevity
engineered for success.
Yeah, no doubt. That's why I would tell people, like, I don't just be talking and shit. Like, I did it, bro. I had to do it. I had very little resources, and I had to make that shit happen. So now I've learned enough about it to be able to offer that shit to other people. But he got everything he needs. It's like, bro, just push the fucking plate away. Like, literally, that's it.
We'll see what happens this year, this season. I'm excited to see him in the league and in NBA Cup. No,
it's right around the corner, man. This shit coming up. I'm getting excited. I'm getting excited, man. All this hoop energy.
Should we finish up with basketball or then transition, or you want to go straight to the?
What we got? What's next on the list?
I know we had the AI robot stuff, but we could talk about the what's the name too though.
Yeah, we can get to we can keep it hoop for a second.
Keep it hoop, yeah, man. Because I know that show got dropped.
These Liberty making me nervous right now. We got the game on in the background. Hey, game 2.
It happens, man. It happens. New York, everything I know, but if they want to win it, they gonna have to do what they got to do.
I don't like it. But whatever. But keep it hoop though.
Keep it hoop.
We're moving forward to the starting 5, the Netflix docu-series. I've currently been intaking. I'm on episode 3 right now.
How is it, man?
You said you ain't watch it.
I didn't watch it yet.
It's kind of.
Is it crazy?
I ain't gonna say crazy. It is what I expected to be, but I like the way they doing it. I do.
Really?
I do.
What's the like the most shocking thing that you got from the show, or most interesting thing, if not shocking?
I mean, almost.
Without being too spoil heavy, I know people.
I mean, for me, I would say the part that jumps out to me the most, and if you watch it, you watch it. If not, then just skip past this shit. Right. Is seeing Jimmy Butler with his family.
Oh, okay.
Mind you, I played with him in college, so you know, there's somebody.
You have an inside perspective already than seeing this at other.
I've known Jimmy since before he was a pro. Like, I ain't gonna say I know him now. We don't got a great relationship at this point, but he's transitioned on to bigger, greater, whatever things. Like, you know. But I haven't really seen him with his kids and stuff. I know he had kids.
Yeah.
I never saw his kids until the documentary.
Wow.
You know? He doesn't really put much out there. Maybe I missed it, but I haven't seen much on his children until now. You know, so seeing him in a father role is like a different like take on like, you know, the person that I saw when we was back in Marquette running lines together, that type of shit. So
that's dope though.
And he keeps a lot of that shit close to the chest and private. So, you know, it's cool to see that shit on TV now where the athletes are getting a chance to expose their lives in a sense, you know. And Ant-Man shit is like like when I saw Ant-Man's house, it gives off Ant-Man energy. Like,
oh man,
like bachelor pad type shit. Like, you know. Because all the other ones, and I know they've all been in the league for a little bit longer, outside of Jason Tatum, I guess, and Domas Sabonis too. But everybody's house looks different. Like, it looks like a big, like, It looks like the
personalities.
house for the person
Yeah, the
that
personalities come through the house.
Ant-Man shit don't really Ant-Man look like it's some shit from like a nigga that make a decent amount of money. He worked
Yeah.
for some company, but he's just a regular ass guy. That's what Ant-Man shit look like.
Facts. And it probably should, because he what, 20?
He's 22 now, I think.
22? Okay,
Yeah, something like that.
I thought he was like 2021, but still.
No. He got drafted at 18. He's been in the league for 4 years. I think this is the 5th year. Fourth or
Is
fifth
it?
year going into it. So yeah, he like 20.
Hey Siri.
He's 20, 22.
How old is
He no more than
Anthony
23.
Edwards?
Nope.
Anthony Edwards is 62 years old.
That's not
Whoa,
accurate.
that
See,
ain't
that's
the
why
right
the
answer.
internet be acting crazy,
This is
bro.
why you asked them AI. This is the wrong shit.
This is why the internet be crazy.
It's-
62.
Nah, he ain't 62.
Nah, I know that's
Nah, he like 22,
inaccurate.
23. Either way, like, but he gives off like that bachelor pad energy, you know. But it's cool. It's a cool little documentary. I like how it's done. I didn't realize it was produced by Maverick Carter. So
Really?
yeah, I
23,
didn't realize
23
that.
years old.
23, yeah.
So there you go.
So I didn't realize that Mav was the person that produced it, which makes it makes more sense now that I'm watching it that it is, because it's a lot of LeBron. A lot of LeBron. Like a lot of LeBron.
I mean, but it's okay to see a lot of LeBron, or you did not want to see that much LeBron, or what was your?
I didn't know what I was to expect. I figured LeBron was gonna have a big part in it, but
Yeah.
like first couple episodes, LeBron is like the
Main
biggest athlete
piece?
pictured throughout the, you know, and
Yeah.
they talk about the whole shit with Bronny when it went down with the, you know, the unfortunate
Of
heart
course.
situation.
Yeah,
like they
it's
get
a
into
big
that.
thing.
So it's good. It's cool. It's a cool little doc.
I
I
do
was
have-
waiting for it. I ran to it when it came out. I was waiting for the release date, which is October 5th. So when it happened, I got a little bit busy and I'm like, all right, cool. Now that I got time, I got to get this shit on.
Do you? Did you ever watch The Prime?
Deion
Sanders?
Sanders joint? Not in full.
Oh, okay, yeah.
Not
so-
in full. I
it's a
fell
good-
asleep on it, so I ain't want to, you know. Not
It's
to
a
say it
good
was
joke.
boring, but
No,
at certain
no,
points in the night.
Sometimes, yeah. Listen, you got to be in the mindset to watch a documentary
Hell yeah.
sometimes.
Hell
but,
yeah.
but is it? I was gonna say comparatively. Do you think the two different sports, different stories? I know that, but
I think
I
Prime
enjoyed the Prime one a lot
Nah,
personally
fact.
when I watched it. But I didn't know what your thoughts was.
It was cool from what I saw, you know.
Mm-hmm.
I think that, you know, they did a good job with that from what I saw as well. I
Mhm.
just think the intent on that was a little bit different.
It's a lot different.
This
yeah,
is like
honestly.
completely like documenting the day-to-day life of a professional basketball player in the NBA.
Oh,
Like
yeah,
all
yeah,
the
yeah.
ins and outs of it. Like, you know, they got Domantas Sabonis talking about how his father, Arvydas Sabonis, which is fucking legend,
Yeah.
talking about how that, you know, transitioned him into basketball. And now, you know, his wife is a LA Lakers cheerleader, ex-cheerleader from the Lakers and shit. You know, showing him on FaceTime with his kids, like what it's like to be on the road, like that kind of
Mhm.
shit. So you're getting all like the, I guess, behind the scenes access
Intimate
to the players'
details.
lives. Like, and
Yeah.
even they got the players' trainers on there too, like talk about the regiments that they go through. LeBron shit, obviously we know it's crazy. He was on there, he's talking about he didn't want to put a number to like all the rumored numbers about how much he actually spends on his body a year. Like he addressed it.
Yeah.
So it's cool to see that kind of shit and then see them going through their paces, like, you know, what the top level guys are doing,
Mhm.
which, you know, I know some of, but again, seeing it for like 5 of the best athletes in the league is like a different perspective for a lot of people to see. But, you know, it's a very in-depth
I'm
look at the
excited,
athletes. So
I can't wait to check it out.
definitely check it out if you haven't yet. If you're a hoop fan, it's a good docuseries. I'm on episode 3, so I ain't got that far into it. And they talk about the games too, which is like funny
Ooh.
because they showing games when the starting 5 athletes match up with each other. Like last
Ah,
year,
that's
they showed one
crazy.
of the games when Minnesota played Boston.
Yeah.
Jason Tatum and Anthony Edwards is
I
on
know.
there, so they talking about, you know, what that they mic'd up on the court, so you're hearing them talk about like the games and shit on the court, and then they give their perspectives leading into the games, after the games, and shit like that.
I
So
can't
it's
wait.
cool.
I'm gonna watch that probably tonight.
Nah, definitely. You gotta
Definitely
check it
give
out.
yourself an-
It's
yeah.
cool. It's cool, and it's well done. So I think that is the best part of it, and it's like very strategically like structured, and I'm into it. You know,
Yeah,
I'm into
starting
it.
5. Man. Speaking
I'm
of starting
into
5, didn't our boy just put out starting 5 too?
Who that?
Obama.
Oh, his little shit he put out on the internet.
Yeah, then I thought he put out a starting 5 all time.
He did.
I think it was
He did?
some people in there.
Should we get to it?
Sure, I think it'll be a good thing to talk about since we're talking about starting 5 anyway.
Segue.
Why not? Why? Yeah, I missed the segue. You know what I'm saying?
Segue
So it's
king
like
here.
I'm thinking.
Who you had on this shit? He had Mike number 1. I know he had. This is
Oh,
just
let's
happened
see.
today.
I didn't know it was in that numbered order. I thought it was just 5.
Nah, it was number. Well, I mean, how they got it listed is number order.
I thought it was like positions though, right?
I mean, nah, because Steph was number 3, and
Steph is a
technically-
point guard though.
right, but he's not a 3. Is what I'm saying.
No, I'm saying like every position is taken care of though, isn't it?
Nah, but I think it's actual like ranking order.
Oh, I don't know about that, but
For
sure. Look, either way.
on the boardroom account, was it? Yeah, here it goes.
What you got?
Via the boardroom account, Barack Obama just dropped his all-time starting 5. Michael Jordan #1, LeBron James #2,
Yep.
Stephen Curry, Hakeem Olajuwon, and Kevin Durant are number
That
3.
to me sounds like
Oh, I didn't even peep this part. You talking about it? Hold on.
Barack Obama. I'm going to talk about my favorite starting 5. If I just put together a team where I would enjoy watching it.
Exactly.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
Different
I'm
than
from Chicago. MJ,
I didn't have this
Jordan at
context.
shooting guard. I'd put LeBron at point forward. A bunch of times he'd be bringing up the ball and he'd be distributing. He'd basically be doing some of the stuff that he did recently in the Olympics, and that is a pretty good approximation of what Magic Johnson could do. But I want a little shooting and a little flair. I'm going to put my friend Steph Curry into the mix because we're in the three-point era, and he is the greatest shooter of all time, bar none. At center, I'm going to put Hakeem
I'll
the
fuck with
Dream
this, though.
Olajuwon.
Yes.
Hakeem is
Game,
my
I
favorite
think,
center ever.
translates
Before
to
Shaq, before
today's
like
game.
Hakeem was it.
He was such an amazing athlete, an anchor on defense.
Oh, yeah.
He's going to give you
everything you need. Yep.
out of the center position. I'm a basketball fan, Barack Obama.
Sorry.
That spot is tough, but I think, especially given today's game, I've got to go with Kevin Durant.
Kevin Durant,
Who
KD.
may be the most efficient,
Yes.
effective
Yes.
scorer in the history of basketball. I'm feeling pretty good about that 5 beating just about anybody.
That's
From
a
one
tough
basketball
5.
fan to another, I hope you watch Starting 5 only on Netflix.
That's what I'm saying. Like, yeah.
Word.
So
There we go.
I agree with the premise. I mean, do you want to try to compete with that 5? That's
it's his 5.
What
I ain't gonna take away his
what
5.
5 would you put up to compete against that 5 right there? What 5 players could you possibly draft together to compete with that 5?
I mean,
a
you could
tough
throw Magic
5.
on one of those on a roster.
Okay.
You could throw Magic. Mike is gonna be on any roster I put for.
No, I'm saying like
Starting
you
5.
already picked up Mike, so now we got to pick up.
I mean, and I'm dead. I'm bowing out.
We could go get Cole.
Bro, he ain't no. I mean,
You can get Cole.
Kobe, and then the rest of the people on that list, like Kobe would be my 2 guard. My point guard would probably be I either say Magic or Isaiah Thomas at the point.
Okay.
Magic or Isaiah at the point. Kobe at my 2. Small forward. Here's where it get tricky
Yeah.
because he took KD and he took fucking LeBron.
Oh
so
yeah. We
small
need
forward.
somebody who's versatile, big, defensively, not a lot.
My heart is gonna go with Melo all day at the small forward position.
Really.
I mean, that's my favorite small forward.
But
in the
defensively,
history.
is he going to be able to match up against the likes of KD and LeBron?
I mean, we got.
Are we
we
sleeping
got
on
Kobe.
Dwayne Wade as
Kobe
well?
gonna strap up. D Wade, nah, he ain't gonna make my roster. I'm sorry.
Interesting.
No shade to you, D Wade, but if
Sounds
we,
like it.
if we going, nah, D Wade, Marquette legend, you know. So
I would love to see Joker and Olajuwon match up.
that would be an interesting matchup. I'm trying to think of who I'll put in my 5. It'd probably be Shaq in my 5. If he gonna take,
Shaq in your 5? Okay.
if he gonna take Hakeem, I'm gonna go Shaq. Just
only
because-
when I want to space the floor out a little bit because I think Joker would pull him out because he can still shoot the 3.
I mean, Joker ain't gonna be in the court if we just talking my roster versus Barack.
No, I know. I'm just saying that's why I'm choosing. I'm choosing Joker.
Yeah, nah, fuck all that. We don't. I'm alright with that.
You all right with
Got
that?
that.
Yeah, you definitely gonna get down low and bang.
At the
so
4, I'm putting Tim Duncan or Kevin Garnett.
that's not a bad play. But I only
Either one. It's, I'll
Tim
probably say Tim before
Tim
Kevin.
is,
And I hate to say that because KG I like more,
yes.
but Tim don't get enough credit for being one of the best players ever
Yeah.
to touch a basketball.
Great court vision. Definitely solid free throws.
Mid-range shooter, could shoot
Yep.
the free throw,
Yep.
could back down. Like, he
I
can do
mean,
fucking everything.
He's good.
And that should give me enough size interior-wise to be able to...
Compete with KD and Olajuwon.
I mean,
Olajuwon has good footwork too. Like that's
No
the
doubt.
hard part.
but you
I
got to
think he
go
gonna be
against 2
dancing.
7-footers down there on my roster.
That's why I'm thinking like if I'm gonna choose, it's gonna be Joker and or Olajuwon because that hook shot is gonna be nasty.
I mean, true.
That's why I'm thinking like I'm gonna get the Kareem because I need someone that can still score on Olajuwon, and I think I'll be okay with a prime.
I mean, Shaq going to be able to score on Olajuwon.
No, but Olajuwon still scored on Shaq too. He gave him
doubt.
work.
He gave Shaq work. Like,
Yeah, so
that's
it's
why
like-
he's my favorite center. But if he off the board, then I'm going with Shaq.
That's why I'm going Kareem. That's only because I know that there's I would have to see how they play together in practice, obviously, and I'm talking about this fantasy world. But if I'm going to put someone in that position, I still don't have an answer for. I'm obviously going to choose Kobe, but I still don't have an answer for LeBron. That's my hardest matchup to kind of figure out who I want to put.
Melo.
I mean, yeah, that's fair.
Check the tape.
That's fair.
Check the tape. There's one person that Melo used to get up to play. It was LeBron, and LeBron couldn't guard Melo like that.
Yeah.
So
I mean, Melo's great pick. I'm not saying he's not. I'm also thinking about Tracy McGrady. I'm also thinking about
T-Mac I was thinking about him too.
I was thinking about Tracy McGrady. I was thinking about a couple people that could just offset some of the gameplay
T-Mac
and still have height and still have the ability.
I might even swap, and I'm not certain on this. I might even swap out Isaiah and or Magic, and I know they're legends, like better players than Penny Hardaway, but I might put Penny at my point.
Penny at point would be interesting. A prime Penny?
Penny was my favorite point guard in the 90s, like the 90s era. Like,
oh, wow.
Just because
I was thinking prime.
He was more combo-ish guard, but
too.
D Rose is great, but
prime D Rose, that MVP season D Rose. I'm talking about that.
That's a fact, but I got to factor in collective body of work too. But I'm probably gonna go with. That's tough, man.
It's tough, man.
Penny has my heart.
You really got Jordan. You got Jordan there. How do you compete? Jordan's right there.
I mean, Jordan and Kobe, like
that's a good matchup.
And I know if we just talking about matching up.
Yeah.
You pretty much gonna get the same thing out of both of those.
Facts.
Like
they got the dog in them.
Here, like career, like historically greatness and all historical greatness and all that stuff. We're not talking about that. If you're just talking about on a basketball court, you're probably gonna get. It's gonna be a wash between those two. They're gonna give you the same things more or less.
Only thing I'm thinking about defensively, I thought about the power forward position. I might go Giannis. I like to hit. He's a little quicker, and he's a shot blocker, but also can give you a little bit of that penetration. And when he wants to lock down as a defender, he can definitely lock down. Other option, Kawhi Leonard. Just for my defense, I need someone who's defensively able to lock these players down.
Kawhi. Is Kawhi gonna be available?
Yes, he's gonna be in his prime and peak health and peak condition in his best
Kawhi
form.
Gonna be available.
He's going to be available. All right,
he's
going to be available.
That's cool. But yeah, my five is set. I'm probably gonna say Penny. I'll say Penny or Isaiah. I'm leaning one way or another.
When someone on the bench,
I'm a little undecided about that, but so I guess I'm not set. But Penny, you got Kobe, got Melo, you got Tim Duncan, and you got Shaq. Am I too big? Am I too big of a roster?
It's a great five. I don't know if they're gonna stop the LeBron, Steph, because there's nobody who's gonna cover that Steph Curry. You know what I'm saying? Like that's the hard part.
Put Isaiah on Steph. I'm gonna put Penny on Steph. Penny or Isaiah on Steph. Whoever I actually choose to go with. I'm really still like undecided about that.
And then you got to figure out KD.
KD and tricky.
It's tricky. That's why it's like you need those defenders, man. Like they really got to have somebody that's able to not only space the floor out and like move with the pick and rolls, because they're gonna do pick and rolls all day.
I mean, it's
gonna be hard.
He has more of a futuristic roster, which is why I'm a little surprised by who he picked. If that was his starting five, I thought those were just his 5 favorite players right now, or whatever.
Nah, it's starting 5.
But if you're going with that, then he has a different kind of roster with a lot of matchup problems on it. But I'm tried and true, man. I like I'm from that era.
Yeah.
Give me 2 bigs who can post the fuck up, because as many threes as you're going to shoot, you still got to guard Tim Duncan, and you still got to account for Shaq on the other end.
Facts.
If you're going to go Hack and Shaq, that's a different story.
Oh, yeah, Hack and Shaq is a different story,
I could bring somebody. I could bring KG off the bench and put Tim Duncan in there. Both of them going to hit free throws. They both are still going to be defensive.
They got size.
Great defensive prowess and all that stuff. So,
it's an interesting thought to think about, though. I just wanted to throw that out there.
Yeah, and I know we can't do this.
I want to know what you guys think, though, in the comments.
It's going to be all...
What's your starting 5?
Opinions and errors versus errors, but, that would be my 5 if I got to compete with Barak. So we see how that rolls out.
Yeah.
I know you're going to have Secret Service, watching him on the bench while he's coaching and all that bullshit. He probably ain't going to coach either. I'm a coach, Barak, or you going to coach is the thing. I'm going to coach my roster.
LeBron's going to coach anyway, so that doesn't even matter.
Oh, his roster? Yeah, his voice is null and void. If LeBron don't like what you're putting up there,
it's very rare. I make a LeBron joke against LeBron, so you just enjoy this moment, man. I'm just going to say it.
It's true. It ain't a joke. That's facts. That's facts. That's facts. They tried to give him. They tried to in the starting 5 too. They tried to say like, "Oh, everyone thinks LeBron has this kind of control." It was fucking Rich Paul. They had him on there talking about everyone thinks LeBron has so much control, and what they don't really realize is because they was talking about the minutes restriction from last year.
Yeah,
that they had him on with Darvin Ham before we saw how that went. Darvin Ham ass got clipped.
Gone.
Yeah, but
ass is gone.
But yeah, man, I guess we keep it at that for now on the
Yeah.
hoop side, and yeah, we move forward from there.
Where you gonna go, man?
Your shit, we got it on the board.
Oh
Freaking
yeah,
the
yeah, yeah.
robots
I mean, we ain't got that much time on this. We can talk.
We not, cause I'm.
It's like we know what's happening, bro. Tesla came out with the Robovin and the
Came out with 3 things, didn't it?
the taxi car type John. The
Taxi car,
Robovin,
the
it's the van.
minivan.
It's the Robovan, like they call it the
Oh,
Robovin.
Robovan. Okay.
The Robovin.
Okay.
I don't know. And then, but the thing I was most impressed with just recently, they just had their missile come back down from space and like get caught in the little John. You ain't see that?
Nah.
Oh, you type it in, you can pull it up. But basically, SpaceX shot a missile up into space or whatever,
Mm-hmm.
and then they let the missile come back down to Earth and it got reattached to the launch pad. It's the first time that's ever happened in the history of aeronautics and all that.
Yeah, I'm
It's
cool,
pretty
man.
legit.
Listen,
It's pretty legitly crazy.
listen. I'm gonna tell y'all now, and ain't nobody got no
But,
jobs in the next few years, and these
I was
computers
saying-
and AI just start taking over everything. Remember where you heard it, bro? Because I know everybody, not you, but the people.
Nah, I know.
Remember where you heard it. I told y'all this shit is gonna get nasty out here, and it's getting nasty.
What's crazy
Fuckers
though,
having
bro?
full-fledged conversations with robots.
I know, bro. But
That
what's
shit's not
crazy
cool,
is
man.
like it's pretty cool. It's pretty cool.
It's not cool.
It's pretty cool. I'm not saying it's good. I'm just saying it's pretty cool. Like you see it, it's like, oh
Conceptually,
wow, we really,
sure, but
we
it's
really in
just
the future
all
on some shit.
very scary to me. Like not scary,
I
like oh
mean-
my god, I'm shaking my boots, but it's like that ain't a good sign for society, man. I've been saying it, and I'm going to soapbox
I mean,
again, so I'm not
I
going to do that.
agree with you to a degree. I think that it's all about the tools, right? I already see how people can manipulate and use these the wrong way. So it's like the part of me that's skeptical and like, oh no, I can see how this is going to be utilized and turn into something negative. It's like, yes, the spear is a good tool to hunt, but it all can be used to throw it at somebody and hurt someone. So it's like they're tools. They're tools that can be used for good or for bad. And I just hope that more people use them for good than they do for bad, man. That's all.
It ain't gonna matter what people want to use it for, because when you get the little Robo Man and you buy the
Robo-Man.
$20,000 robot to be in your crib and shit, and then he start coming in your bedroom at night doing shit that you don't prompt it to do, that's when your ass is gonna see that this whole shit was a bad idea.
You should have listened to D. Burke.
When the robots start choking you out in the middle of the night,
Sorry.
because they have the capability to do
Error.
that, robot hands on your throat in the middle of the night, and you just thinking this shit is the thing that's supposed to.
Error.
Yeah, exactly. It's
Robot.
over.
Error.
This shit's over. But
Nah.
hey, we gonna stop
I
there.
enjoyed
And I'm
enjoyed the presentation. Like it at least made me more excited for the future than iPhones
listen,
and
man,
Apple and all that. It's like yeah, I
Stop.
guess so.
Somebody push the off button right now.
What do you want to go back to the 90s? We done with the 90s
Hell
now. I'm
yeah.
teasing.
Hell yeah, 90s was kind of fire.
You want your CD player and your Walkman?
Economy
Go
was
ahead, man, get it.
cool. Economy was aight in the
You
90s.
want your cassette tapes?
Hell yeah.
Go ahead, man. Go get them.
My Walkman, the joint that skip if you walk too hard with it.
Exactly. It's not
Listen, man, all of that. Give me that.
You
I
want
need
that.
a nostalgic feel.
okay.
Nah,
That's fair.
I don't want the robot singing to me. Like,
You want a
I
Nintendo
definitely
64? I'm okay with Nintendo 64.
don't. N64 was fire.
Fire.
N64 was fire.
GoldenEye.
Hell yeah. Golden Gun one shot.
Come on.
Let's talk about
Classics.
it. Nostalgic.
I appreciate them,
like,
but at the same time, I like being able to just dial my phone up and DoorDash is coming to the house right now. Right? Or matter of
DoorDash is
fact,
cool. There's a level, but again, as we've seen this shit go further and further, people don't know when to stop. That's the issue.
that's
for
fair.
me.
That's fair.
They don't know when to stop.
That's fair.
So now that they're rolling out the robots and the man's talking to you, the robot, well, man or woman, I guess you can make it sound
The
like a woman too.
the they.
Like you just sitting there talking to robots, and it's gonna like lead to a scenario where they're doing everything for us, man.
I don't
What the
think
taxi
that they're-
driver's gonna do when you got the fucking robo van and all the taxis is done?
Well,
Uber's done. Uber's done. once
Uber's
that
done.
shit
All
take
that's
over.
done.
All the
But
Uber drivers, sorry for y'all.
What will happen is people need to operate the fleets, make sure they're maintenance.
Who's
make sure-
training people to do that?
That's going to be a
not
whole
the
nother
school
conversation.
systems.
That's a whole nother
Not the
conversation.
school systems. So
That's a whole nother conversation.
it just basically is going to make a place where there aren't enough jobs for the society to have
yes.
outside of the people that run everything that's going to do everything for
And
us.
I was saying this,
technology.
I said this earlier. I was like, somebody's got to be at Dollar Tree. And if no one's at Dollar Tree, how you getting this stuff?
The robots are going to patrol Dollar Tree.
I understand that, but the robots can't protect us from the robots?
No, because the robots are going to kill us. This is what I'm telling you.
That's what I'm saying. But what I'm saying
The
is,
robots are going to kill us.
like
There's going to be no Dollar Tree.
if there's a
because
malfunction with the robot, then what? Is the food free? No, something's got to be. There's always got to be a human interface in between to make sure
until they
things
figure out how to outsmart those humans, they're going to kill them too, and then they're going to take over everything.
I mean, you watch too much iRobot.
The shit look like the same thing off iRobot to me, bro. It looked
So
like
you're saying
some shit out of a
art
movie.
imitating life, or is life imitating art?
See, when we had that conversation, I'm telling you, like, this is the shit that we looking at.
Are we
now.
at the precipice of the
I
uncanny
seen
valley?
this movie and I
Is this what
don't like
this
it.
is?
Hit the off button. Hit the off button now. I'm sorry.
Okay.
I know Elon. He's doing whatever.
I like
the fuck he's
Teslas,
gonna
though.
do.
They look
He
nice
dancing
to
behind
me.
Trump, looking like an asshole.
They look. I like the cars though. They look nice.
They look cool. I was even cool with the Tesla car because it was like, oh, climate change and whatever.
Yeah.
Like, we gonna eliminate
Protect
the
the
gas.
environment, man.
That was the game. They fucked y'all over with that. They made y'all think it was all cool. Y'all bought all these Teslas. Y'all gave them more money.
I have an SUV. I know. I'm
still
sorry.
putting gas
My
in
carbon
my shit.
footprint
I'm sorry.
is not good right now. I apologize.
I'm putting gas in my shit. V8, V8 Hemi. Like I'm clogging the fucking atmosphere with my shit.
Nice.
I like that. That's the era I come from.
Yeah.
But we're gonna see how this shit go, man.
We'll
I'm
see
just
where it
telling y'all,
lands,
mark
yeah.
this day, mark this episode. When you ain't got no jobs, just remember where you heard it first.
Hey,
But that's my soapbox.
there's
I'm gonna
job
get off
security,
quick.
insecurity. Come on over, boy. But anyway, we can end this conversation off on a different note. Want some real talk?
It's real talk time for sure.
Want some real talk?
Real talk time
Real
for
talk
sure.
today is brought to you by United Dreamers clothing brand. Go to shop.IamWaldoBlack.com for your United Dreamers merch.
United Dreamers ain't
We
gave
are
us a check yet.
dreamers united. Go ahead, man. What you got for us?
Nah, real talk today is gonna come from somebody who takes punches in the face for a living, and I don't think they really
Interesting.
have the proper
I
perspective
don't know where this is going.
on this shit. Like,
I had a bad joke. I'm glad I didn't say it.
say it because I still got time. I'm still trying to find this
No. I'm
motherfucker.
not getting canceled for this. No, sir.
I heard you can't get canceled now. Is what I heard.
Who said that?
That's what that's what they say. You
That
can't get
it
canceled.
sound like AI.
Nah, it's humans. They're saying you can't get canceled. That whole cancel shit is over. Like, as
Yeah,
long
I
as you
hear
got a
you.
strong enough voice, a strong enough following, you Gucci.
Oh, we ain't get there yet. Then hold on. Let me get a couple more subscribers.
Maybe if you say something cancelable, will then attract the people towards the community.
No, I'd rather get there first, then go the other way around.
All right, that's fair, man. You take the safe way out.
Exactly. I'm gonna take the J. Cole way out and apologize for
There you
even
go. Look
thinking
at
of the
that.
joke.
Full circle. Full circle.
What you got for us, bro?
All right, so today's real talk is going to come from the concept of men and happiness, and it's, I guess, a mental health awareness
I'm excited.
alert. If you're not into men's mental health, if you're not into mental health, then hit the skip button. I don't know, but either way, very, very profound topic that I want to open up for. It comes from Sean Strickland, who is a fighter, which is why I said it comes from a person who takes punches in the face for a living. So we can
Sean always trying. Go ahead. I'm sorry.
take it with a grain of salt, if you will, but I do think it does make for an interesting conversation / dialogue, so we'll talk about it. On the concept of men and happiness, Sean Strickland doubled down on his comments that men are not supposed to be happy. So I'm going to read his first comments, and then from there I'm going to read the video that he posted after. Still trying to get this upper respiratory shit going, so if I sound nasally, man, just bear with me, man. Hopefully next week we'll be all right.
Facts.
So we have his original comments: when men say I'm not happy, ... you're a man. You're not supposed to be happy, period. Being happy is for women and children. You're meant to endure hardship. Instead of saying I'm not happy, say what can I do to make people that I care about happy. That's being a man. Those were his original comments. So double down to say this.
I keep being tagged in this, and you have all these like beta males talking about men's mental health and depression. We are in this predicament, this mental health predicament, because we've asked ourselves, what will make me happy and not what will make other people happy. You guys, I'm miserable. My resting state is misery and anger. I wake up and all I want to do is pick fights that don't exist. I want to create enemies. And I'm telling you, all it does is lead to unhappiness. But when I wake up and I ask myself, not what will make me happy, but what will make my woman happy, what will make my family happy, I am so much better off. And I'm telling you guys, if you suffer from depression, if you don't find that there's a meaning in your life, when you wake up, don't ask what will make me happy, but ask yourself what will make the people I care about happy. And I promise you, through that, you will find happiness. I promise you.
End quote.
Ask not what your country can do for you,
So
but rather what you can do for your country.
I'll open up for your perspective on it.
Oh, you want to let me have the floor
Yeah,
first?
you can
How
get
much
the
time I
first one.
got? Let me see.
We ain't got that much time.
All right, well then,
we ain't
yeah,
got
I
soapbox
mean,
time, but we got
Listen,
good conversation.
you want me to? You want me to talk? Yeah,
Nah,
I mean,
go ahead.
like, but no,
I'm talking shit. Go ahead, do your thing.
Sean Strickland, man, I just don't know if he's the kind of guy that lets his fist do the talking. So from the concept of that individual, I can empathize with him. He's a fighter. So it's very granular. Like, he's very much like the light switch is off or the light switch is on. There's no wiggle room, right? It's this or that. He's regimented in that because that's what a fighter has to do. He has to make split decisions, and he can't waver and pontificate. Oh, I wonder how it would feel if the light was shining down and it was so bright. No, he's going like, I need a means to an end. Now, I'm not supposed to be happy. I'm supposed to make other people happy. Let's go. And he's going to go after that. And I can't blame or fault him for that because he's been fighting his entire life. If you put someone in continual fight or flight situations, guess what? That's their mindset. So I get where he's coming from. Do I agree? I don't. Now, I don't agree with the premise, supposed. That word is where I have the biggest issue. Ain't nobody supposed to be happy. I think happiness is earned just like everything else in life. You don't just get to be happy because that's it. It is an independent aspect, but there's outside influences that kind of affect your happiness. That's why I think that other piece of my objection is happy. What the hell is that? When you're trying to break down happiness, are you concluding it as joy? You're not entitled to happiness, or you're not supposed to be happy, but you are supposed to pursue happiness. You can be in the pursuit of happiness. You're supposed to be in the pursuit of happiness. You're supposed to get to a point where you can have a moment of peace and zen and balance. And I look at it from the battle cry, Jason Wilson, right? That mindset of a comprehensive man, the man that you need to be whenever the situation calls for, you can adapt to it. You're not supposed to be happy, but you are supposed to be adaptable to your conditions, so that way your emotions are regulated and you're not depressed, you're not sad, you're just adaptable to whatever comes forth. If you got a situation that pops up that might be stressful, you're able to go, okay, internalize, make an adjustment, and then do what needs to be done. That's the comprehensive, approach that I think is what I think he would be able to say if he wasn't in the state where he's constantly at a fight or in a fight or flight mindset. That's what I think. That's just me on the outside looking in. I don't know John's entire life. I know he had beef with David Goggins, but they kind of patched that up or whatever. But he just always seems like he wants to say something that just gets an attention or is attention seeking. So I'm just like, hey, man, say what you want. But I'm looking at you like, bruh, outside of fighting, what do you do? Like, what is your essence of being outside of being a fighter and being aggressive? Do you do anything that is counter? Have you tapped into your feminine energy at all? Like, is there anything other than that? Or is just one-sided, man is a monolith, you better fight, you better kick, punch, you better, yeah, I'm all right. You go be that version of you. Enjoy yourself. I'll be over here having Mai Tais and relaxing. You know what I'm saying? I love a good margarita.
Hey, man. I mean, that's perspective. That's perspective. I would say, me personally, I'm at the point now in my life where I often consider the source. Like, that's why I said, like, I can't really buy too much into the opinions of someone who takes punches in the face for a living. Like, not to say his brain isn't or is operating at maximum capacity, like, not to say that his emotional state isn't like wired differently because you're just a fighter, like, but I don't I don't know. I can't buy too much into what he's saying, but I also have just a different view on happiness in general, you know?
Yeah.
Like for me, happiness. All right, so I'll give it to you straight.
Please.
Happiness, by definition, is an emotion, more or less.
Right.
Like, so there's an emotional spectrum of all the emotions that humans experience in life.
Yeah.
Happiness, joy, sadness, anger, et cetera, et cetera, et cetera.
Thanks.
So for someone to be happy is going to be fleeting and something that can be different on a day-to-day basis.
Exactly.
So to me, someone saying men aren't supposed to be happy, like, yes, men are supposed to be happy when happiness is the emotion that you feel over whatever you feel it for.
Right.
You are Sean Strickland. You might knock a nigga out in the ring and be like, that makes me happy because I achieved the goal, which was winning the fight.
There it is.
So now your overwhelming sense of happiness and joy is like, it's a chemical and hormonal reaction to circumstances or just your state of being in your life. So happiness is always going to be fleeting. So if you're someone that wants to chase happiness, then you are someone who is going to have trouble with all the other emotions that you experience in life. Because if happiness is the only one that you want to feel, then you are cutting yourself off from, again, just the comprehensive nature of what life actually is.
Facts.
You know? So I think the wording that he used, happiness, is just a little bit off because, again, it's an emotion. I'm never going to be happy every day.
Right.
Am I going to be happy some days? Yes. Am I going to be happy in the morning and then not happy at night?
Yeah.
Yes. So, you know, your human experience isn't just limited to happiness. So that's one thing. So I always get a little, you know, I check the source when it's like, okay, you're just talking about happiness as like, that is what people should be.
Exactly.
No one's going to be happy all the time.
Nobody.
So that's one thing. Second thing for me is that his perspective is limited to his experience, I guess. And it does not account for the fact that there are people who their sole ambition in life is making other people happy so much that they forsake themselves, and that causes them the depression the unhappiness. And
exactly.
How many stories have we heard about people who have taken their own life and committed suicide, and then their family is there to speak for them after, like, oh my God, he was so selfless.
Yeah,
he was always worried about the kids and whatever. And then boom, he blows his brains out one day because something within him is not making him feel good.
Exactly.
So if you are saying that, okay, if you're miserable in life, just think about doing things to make everybody else happy. Why is that the answer? You know, just because we've seen that path before and we've seen people who are not here anymore, and that was their main focus.
Yep.
Let me try to be there for other people around me. Let me try to do it. Like, something within you is not right if that isn't going to bring you joy or happiness, you know? So that's also problematic for me with what he said, because that ain't it for everybody else, bro. Like, just because you can get happiness from that, that doesn't mean that that's the answer for other people. Like, yes, there's value in being selfless. Yes, there's value in taking care of those around you. But at the end of the day, if you at your core do not feel like peace of mind with yourself as an individual, then something's off. And for me, I'm a person that I guess would often lean in towards like everyone being at peace rather than being happy.
Yep.
Just because, like I said, happiness is going to come and going to go. But if I'm at peace with the fact that whatever I'm experiencing now is great, it may not always be that way. So let me make the most out of this moment right here in time, this moment, this week, this month, this whatever, then appreciate that for what it is. Then be also ready for the hard times, to where he said, like, as a man, you're supposed to experience the hard work, the discomfort, and et cetera, et cetera. But I can also be at peace with that too, to say, this is just where I'm at right now.
Yeah.
You know, like I've said often on this podcast, it's been one of the most uncomfortable years of my life, but I'm at peace with that because I understand my, like, where I'm at right now in this space of my personal being, you know? And peace to me is always going to trump happiness, because you can always experience one thing or another emotionally, but understanding yourself and then understanding how you fit in within the world around you and being completely set in. I might not be where I'm at right now, but I'm working towards something better, et cetera, and I'm at peace with my process. That is going to be the overwhelming thing that keeps you level throughout life.
And you can trust your process, right?
trust the process, whatever you want to call it. But if you just believe in the fact that whatever I'm going through right now is leading me towards exactly where I'm supposed to be, whether I'm speaking greatness into existence for myself, whether I'm a person who just likes what I'm doing, and it's like, all right, cool, let me just see how this rolls out. Wherever I'm at right now is always going to lead you to the next thing. So being at peace with that, whatever emotions come with it on a day-to-day basis, is going to keep you in a state mentally to where, again, you're just more level and you can just see things around you and appreciate the good and the bad, because one ain't one without the other, you know?
Yeah.
So for me, it's like, men, are you going to be happy all the time? No.
No.
Nobody fucking is.
But men aren't supposed to be sad either.
Children aren't happy all the time. Yeah. And men are supposed to be sad at some point.
But I know, but they aren't supposed to be sad as a baseline. Like, it's like you're a man, you should be sad. Like,
oh no, but that's why to me it's like there should be no baseline emotion for the human experience.
Exactly.
Like, to me, that's where it's problematic to say like, oh, I'm not happy, my life is shitty. No, I'm not happy today because I'm fucking sick, like my workouts feel like trash, whatever, but I'm at peace with the fact that next week I'm gonna probably feel a little bit better.
Exactly.
So that to me is like, the baseline should be understanding that emotions are a roller coaster.
Exactly.
Women aren't going to be happy all the time. Children aren't going to be happy all the time. So for you to say that's for women and children, to me is just like, that's stupid, bro. Because my 8-year-old daughter ain't fucking happy when she don't get what she want. And then all humans are going to experience a whole host of emotions. Being level throughout it comes with growth and understanding yourself, your process, and where you are along your journey. You know, and a lot of people struggle with that, which I do understand. And there's a mental health issue with people who are attaching themselves to, I need this to be happy. But at the end of the day, when you get that thing, you ain't still going to be happy all the time.
Yeah.
You know, whatever it is for you, whether it be the money, the success, whether it be the girl, like, you know, none of it is going to keep you happy.
I got it all.
There's
now what? You still sad.
And there's right. And there's a profound, I forget who said it, but I read it a little while ago, and it came off of actually when I was having like some insomnia or some shit like that, when I'm like just, you know, researching things. And there was a doctor, he said, there is no permanent state of being in life. None. So understanding that is going to help you understand that when things are bad, they'll be all right in a little bit. Or when things are great, that, all right, let me keep everything level, because at a certain point, it may not be this way.
Right.
How am I going to react when that is the time?
When
you know,
things go back down.
Exactly.
How you going to maintain your, like, you should be the boat that's within the storm, that's, you know, you just on the water, riding the waves, riding the waves, whatever's going on.
Go with the flow.
It could be a storm out there, but as long as you're inside the boat and you're riding the waves, you're not gonna capsize and everything like that. You're good, man. Just stay on task, stay focused. Don't get swallowed up, man. Get swallowed up by it. That's what I'm saying.
And that's the real talk. So I really can't buy into Sean Strickland. Again, I don't take advice from people who get punched in the face for a living. I'm sorry. Like, I'm sorry.
Oh,
you know,
man.
not to say that anything's wrong with that, but again, I do question your moral and, you know, emotional compass a little bit when it comes to that.
Yeah.
You know? You just used to hurt, like, or get hurt. So for me, it's like, you know, you got to consider the source, man. Consider the source when you listen to these people, man. You really got to dive into these people's lives and who they are as a person, as a being, to really buy in or to not buy into what they're saying. And I can't buy into that, Sean. Like,
I can't buy into it.
I'm sorry, man. But
hey, do you though, bro?
Shouts to you, man.
Yeah, do your thing.
Shouts to you. I hope you're happy.
I won't fight you.
I hope
I'll
you're
tell
happy.
you that. I do want to get
his hands is registered, so if I lose, then I get a check.
Oh, maybe.
I ain't jumping in the ring with you. I'm sorry.
Yeah.
I ain't jumping in the ring with you.
I got quote of the day today.
You got it.
I'm ready to go.
It's on you. Lock it, load it, let it fly.
So this one is actually referencing someone I brought up earlier. So I'm just gonna read it and then I'll let you know who it is afterwards.
Direct quote from them or
direct quote?
I bet.
When a man can reflect on his emotions and reset.
Oh, I know who this is.
He will be able to release what's toxic, preventing future regrets. When a man can reflect on his emotions and reset, he will be able to release what's toxic, preventing future regrets. Mr. Jason O. Wilson, the quote of the day.
That's from the book, right?
Yeah.
Shout the book out one more time for those.
You know what I'm saying?
For the guys out there,
applause,
man.
Give that
Oh
man
yeah,
some
we give
applause.
a round of applause on that, Jason Williams.
You
For
know
the
what
guys
I'm saying?
out there that is, struggling with your place as a man and as a, a masculine person in society.
Mm-hmm.
Check out the book, Battle Cry.
Mm-hmm.
Check
You
it
got a
out.
new one he dropped too, I think.
Did he?
Yeah, I gotta check it out. I haven't checked it out yet, but
Fire.
Battle Cry is fire, and I just think that he's one of those brothers that I just really like appreciate his space and his ability to kind of like.
I like what he
speak.
does with the youth. Like,
Yeah,
he
man.
does. He has a very powerful impact on the young men that he has a chance to train. Like,
Mhm.
it's obviously combat training, hand to hand stuff. So I do like that. There's a violent aspect to what he does, but he's still, very cognizant of, again, just the emotional spectrum and how emotions play into making your life more positive, or they can take away great experiences if you
Yeah.
let them control you. So yeah.
Facts.
So shouts to him, man.
Yeah, man.
Shouts to the Liberty too. They just closed out
They
game
closed out
number
that
2
game, man. They
as we
closed it
wrapping up our
out.
pod. So I gotta shout them out. Series is 1-1. Let's bring this thing home for the town.
Yes. Ride that wave all the way to the Knicks, right?
Facts. I'm telling you, it's next time.
Oh man.
Knicks is looking decent in the preseason too, man. I'm telling y'all.
They got
Ball
they got a
movement is
roster. They got a roster.
So hey,
If they
man,
gonna do something, this is their year.
we gonna see.
We'll
we gonna
see.
see. I gotta see how it look when the games really start counting, when we get to the end of this month. But, that said, we will bid you adieu as we wrap up episode number 35. If you made it this far to the audio/visual occasion, please do not forget to like, comment, share, and subscribe. Tell a friend, Obviously, we love the love as always.
Appreciate you guys.
So as you go back into the world, we'll say, don't forget to guard yourself mentally, physically, spiritually, and all things in between. Be great in the crazy world, and we will catch you for another audio occasion on the next go-round. For now, EFS Podcast, episode number 35 is out. Peace.
Appreciate y'all, EFS family.